Hello everybody! Welcome back to my channel. It's Leela and with me is Beau.
Hello, it's Saturday, August 14th, 2021.
It is, indeed. And we are here to recap Girls Planet 999, Goo Goo Goo, episode 2.
It's only episode 2. It's been 18 weeks.
I feel like these first few episodes are
always
just
long.
there's so much content, so many people. Anyway.
Yeah.
Before we begin, number one, thank you for clicking on this video and listening to us and our discussion. I really appreciate it. Two, if you listen and you have some thoughts, please leave us a comment. I really want to hear from you about what you thought of the episode, who you're voting for, who your faves are, all that kind of stuff. Please leave us a comment. Yeah.
What does Solar say? Ooh, twilight. Like, subscribe, what do they say?
I don't know.
Twilight, I don't know what the word is.
And, if you subscribe to the channel, you'll get, the next episode whenever we
For free.
publish it. Whatever. Anyway,
Only
whatever.
for you, for free.
Again, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm bad at this. But, okay, let's go.
Is
We
it
have a
called
lot to
the
cover
Girls
today.
Saga?
I guess so.
I never noticed that before.
Okay. This is my upgraded PowerPoint, everyone. I hope you like it. Okay. So episode 2 consisted of the rest of the introduction performances, which we'll go over next. We'll talk about all of the performances, well, most of them. It showed the actual top 9 ranking from the masters, the judges.
Oh, right.
It showed the cell reorganization, because we had talked about how the top 9 get to pick their cellmates. Is it prison? Cellmate?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think about that.
It also showed, we got our first glimpse of like the fun stuff, the fun behind the scenes stuff
the best
of
stuff,
everyone moving into the dorm together. Everyone lives together, your roommates with your cell members,
Which I
so
liked.
they're
I
in
thought
rooms
that
of
was cool.
3. It's really cute. That part was really fun. It was really cute. The girl who brought the blackout curtain with her to put around her bed
Quick question.
is a legend.
In the dorms where they were living with their cells, I can't remember, was that after the cell reorganization?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they hadn't moved in until that point.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
So that was really fun. I don't have another slide to talk about it, but I thought that part was really fun. And then at the very end, we'll discuss what, the rules and everything for round 1, mission 1.
We'll try to untie that knot.
Whew, it's a lot.
I'm so Mnet. It's like part 4, subdivision B of the rules state.
Oh, goodness. It's complicated,
And
everybody.
this picture's my phone background right now.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how, what's her name, looks a little taller. That's funny.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
I love them so much. Okay, so the performances. The first group that we had was a J group called Joker. They did Mama Moo's Go Go Baby.
Yeah, big choice.
It was a good choice for them. All of the 4 members of this group got into top 9 candidates. Here, I put the names in yellow if they were top 9 candidates. I thought the performance was really good. They did really well, but I personally wasn't.
No.
It's not that I didn't like it or anything like that. It's just that we've had so many good performances thus far. It's, going towards the end, I think you have a disadvantage. How I felt.
Like Mama Moo, I think that Mama Moo and their music is kind of going for aughts, late 90s kind of a girl group, R&B girl group and stuff a little bit, and that was is not my favorite stuff because it's in the earlier 80s stuff.
Yeah,
was
that
good.
particular song isn't really one of my favorites.
They're great.
But,
I love.
Yeah, I like Mama
They're
Moo.
a great group and they're really funny and stuff. Rena, I think, was the powerhouse on the far right. You'll see for a split second, right? But I think she's really a dork. And not in a dorky way, like the twins are dorky and nerdy, but she's just kind of a dork.
Is she the musical theater nerd?
Yeah, she's one of those.
She reminds me of a musical theater nerd. She has
not
that.
bad. It's not
she has
bad
that
thing.
really big, powerful vocals, which is really good, and I love it.
I
It's
think
awesome.
that- yeah.
But does that fit for the style of girl group that I think will come out of this show? Maybe,
you
maybe
wouldn't
not.
describe
I'm
her
not
as,
sure.
You wouldn't describe any of these girls. Maybe the one they show for a second by herself as cool. They're a bit, they're a bit more, you'd see at a church singing on Sunday. They're very nice, very nice. But that's good. You can always teach them to be cool and stuff. But they're really good. They're a really cool group.
They did really well.
It wasn't something that stuck in my head.
It was for me. It wasn't
right.
my favorite, but that's
Yeah.
just a personal preference. It's not about skill or anything. Their skill was great.
Yeah, they were
amazing.
they were good. Raina's gonna do, obviously. She's,
I think, yeah.
You know, they're gonna be using her like Eisman used Yuri, where they were just like, we need somebody who
Yeah,
can
somebody's
sing.
got to have a main vocal, so she's like, pick me.
Like
I'm the main
Umbi has a
vocal.
great voice. A lot of them had great voices, but they just need somebody who can hit those certain powerful notes.
We'll see.
You know? Yeah.
Okay. So next was, oh wait,
That is the twins. These are.
No, I went
I think you went
back.
backwards.
oh, I don't know how to work this presentation, everybody.
How do you go forward?
The second one was a K group 18 girls. They did A Pink's Mr. Chew.
Oh,
And this was Huning Bahie's group.
notice none of them are in yellow.
Yeah, they.
I mean the names, not their
the
dresses,
name.
obviously.
They didn't get any of them picked for top 9 candidates. They mentioned that all of their teammates, including her, they haven't trained for terribly long, like maybe a year, a little bit more. They did okay. It wasn't,
Here's the
I
funny
think it's
thing,
just
too.
technical skill and practice at this point. It's
Yeah.
really not that they're bad or anything.
And they were calling them babies. We were talking about this. In Korean society, 18 is not an adult till 20, you were saying.
Right.
But
You're
remember
adult till 20.
48? Wanyang was 14. They had like 15-year-old girls and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
they're not the youngest girls.
No.
They're just still calling them babies in a fun way.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
they are younger. Yeah, I think that they had very rough edges. That was more, I think, to nerves than anything.
was
Not
nervous.
they're not doing it technically.
Maybe
hard song.
lack of stage experience and nerves, which is like totally
You
understandable.
can even see in
they're
this
new
GIF
at this.
here how they're now. Granted, they're doing I guess what you'd call, when you do the wave, that how it goes down the line. They're kind of doing one of those spins. They're not all at the same time. They're not supposed to be. But
They
you can
weren't
still,
perfectly in sync
They
or
weren't
anything.
experienced. They were just nervous.
I think they were
The
nervous.
Baye, I think, has a nice voice. You can tell.
She's
rest
got
of-
potential.
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of like practice.
Yeah,
and
they looked
everything
like their
that.
judges were saying that they were not having a good time. And if you're not doing very well, at least look like you're having a good time. Like the twins. The twins did this out of tune,
It's also
but they were just
the
having a
song
great time.
choice. Like it's a good song. It's a cute song.
It's cute, yeah. I like their
And
outfits.
it was
were
probably
cute.
it was appropriate for their skill level, but it's not like the most fun song in the world.
I would have
know
done
what
something more
mean?
bubbly
It's-
or something.
Yeah, it's not that bubbly.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was okay.
This
That
they
was all
showed
I
a little
really
bit
say
of the
about it.
performance, and for the record, they didn't concentrate. They mentioned her brother, of course they had to.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of calling some BS on the fact that some of the judges didn't know that. Of course,
Yeah, I thought that seemed really scripted. That she
your
was like,
brother is one of the
"Your
biggest
name-
scripts of all time,"
Your
I'd
name
say.
sounds familiar. Perhaps are you related?" And like it's written on the paper right in front of you. You just say, "Oh, I see here that you are." You know,
I mean,
like-
to be fair, Huning might be a common name, like
I don't
not
think
as common
so.
as Ali
It's
or
not a
Kim,
common
but
name. They
yeah,
have a
I
very
mean,
unique name.
and her first name, of course, is really cool. But I think that was a little bit like, oh. Now, granted, some of the Chinese contestants or Japanese might not have known.
It seemed like some of the
TXT
girls
that
there
well, but-
didn't know that was her. But
Or
anyway.
or it's just they're also waiting on a translation. You have to remember when someone posts like a shocked look or whatever, it's just them going, "What the hell is he saying?" They don't quite. It takes a minute to translate.
That's
They were
all I
fine.
had
They were
on that
fine.
one.
Good luck to them.
The next group was K group Fireworks. They did the song "Wow Thing." All 4 of the members of the team got into top 9 candidates.
Now, yeah.
They're all experienced. Doa was from Produce 48. She's from the group Fanatics. The other girls, I'm not sure if they were from other groups. It's not super clear, and I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Was Doa had a guitar in the
No.
in her, okay.
Doa's the one that had all the cherries, that ate all the cherries
Oh,
and
just
sang with
such
cherries
a
in her
weird
mouth.
thing to do, but I thought it was
Yeah.
that's what I liked about it. It was
Yeah.
and they're those huge cherries you get.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
So they were obviously really skilled, really good.
They weren't
It was
perfect
really
though
good.
by any means. They had some little issues in there, but for like
really.
yeah, for
They did well.
compared to other rest groups, they were great.
They did
sounded
great.
like they could have been an idol group.
Yeah.
Because it is important to always remember with this stuff that we're hearing a weird mix. Probably we're not hearing the stage mix. We're hearing like a broadcast mix, probably. So, but yeah, this number 20 here she's the rapper, right? We were saying, is that right?
She was the one in her intro PR video. She was on Show Me the Money. She's a rapper, but she also is a really good vocalist, which I really like her a lot.
Yeah, I like her too.
We didn't have her as one of my picks earlier, and maybe still not, but I really like her a lot. I
Yeah.
think she's very good.
Yeah, she was number 20, and I think she almost did better, or at least she stood out more than the others. But that could be just a
Yeah,
result
she
of
did
editing
well.
and stuff. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, again, not my favorite style of stuff, but I think that was cool.
It was good.
It was very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we know they're going somewhere.
The next full performance they showed was So Richie. She did Snapping by Chungha. She did solo. She slayed. Like, well, what more is there to say?
They cut away a bit too much on that because I think I would like. There's so many subtle little things that she was doing. I think.
Well, you can watch the performance that's unedited.
But you also like to have the audience reaction, so it's kind of. I kind of like how they do it. The editing, you got to add that in there because you have to kind of educate the audience sometimes to see, like the fact that they said that she follows the camera with her eyes. You would have never have noticed that. And this is so I like when they edit, they're giving you indications of when she does something that's interesting or that the crowd appreciated.
That the professionals appreciate that us plebes don't notice.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
She did super well. I thought it was a great song choice. I thought her voice sounded good. She sounded very live.
Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but
that's fine because it was very live and it was even good, really live. Like I said last time. Real idols that are performing, you're not going to hear them as raw as we're hearing these girls here. And even with that, she did really well. Like, I love her. I'm becoming so fond of her.
Yeah, I think she might be.
She's blowing me away, and it seems like this show really likes her a lot too. They gave her a lot of props, and they were really complimenting and spending a lot of time, talking about her and everything. So I think that everyone's really gunning for her to be part of the group in the end. But I fully support.
I think people are watching are going to have to get comfortable with having not Japanese but Chinese members in a K-pop group. It's not as common as it is, and I think
there's a lot of them.
There is, but I mean, in the new latest girl group, I think it's going to be really exciting to see the differences, and so I think it'd be cool. But she's. I mean, else? On her.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think her voice was not weak, but I think it didn't show much range because the song isn't that big rangy, but whatever. But I think she'll be able to pull it off. They'll use different singers to do different stuff, and she's obviously kind of a mid-range person. So yeah, she was cool. And I liked her outfit. That's kind of a ballsy outfit.
And then Yujin from CLC did Hyuna's Bubble Pop. Also, both of their solo performances they got in Top 9 Candidates. I thought it was really fun. She did really well. She's so cute.
And she's like a rabbit. She looks like a rabbit.
She's so cute. Oh my goodness. And like the way they kind of talked about her story in that, like, one, she sort of confirmed what everyone knew already about CLC, that they're not formally disbanded, but they're essentially sidelined indefinitely.
I was listening on the way the store, little podcast, like I was saying, or a little show that was doing this, a fan of CLC, or is, and Yujin was her bias in CLC. She said.
Okay.
And she said that really online, and the fans aren't saying disbanded, but on
not
hiatus.
Hiatus.
Same thing.
Indefinite
same thing.
hiatus.
Sorry, the same thing. They're not coming back from that.
Well, maybe waiting out contracts, but also I mean, I don't trust Cube as far as I could throw any of them. Like today, we woke up to
trust any of them.
Gee, I don't remember getting kicked out of.
But I mean, they're also they're also a business, and they're
No, they're bad. They're really bad. But like maybe after this, like if she doesn't make it in the group in the end, I mean, who knows what's going to happen? Like maybe the popularity of they'll give CLC another comeback. Who knows?
And she also said that I felt it was a girl crush group, and I didn't fit in. And this young person on this other show I was listening to in the car, was saying that that's funny because she's my bias because I always noticed her and blah blah blah. So there are.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's kind of like, I think this group may in the end end up being similar in the girl crush. I don't know.
I don't want a girl crush.
I don't either.
I don't dislike girl crush. It kind of puts you into a corner a bit more. You kind of always have to do that stuff. Yeah. And when you do cutesy stuff, it's like Dreamcatcher doing cutesy stuff. So you're like, what? Not necessarily like it's cute is what I want. No, but
like this is a whole separate discussion we'll have at another date. Like. If at the end of this show we end up following this group, depends entirely on what their sound and style is, so it doesn't matter. I don't know. But anyway, she did great. Love her.
And this clip shows it well, too, that what she's doing is a cute but also artistic dance in places. Like, look at this little kick, little spin there. Mm-hmm. And she's a really good dancer. I thought she said she did ballet, too, or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I love that she took off her shoes. People are like, and somebody mentioned in the comments on the official video or something, why are they showing her feet all beat up with, and it's like,
because she worked hard.
Because that's like, have you ever seen Flash Dance from the 80s? It's like, they love that stuff. Dancers are proud of the fact she's got bruises on her legs.
She took them off because they were
she's there
giving
to
her
dance.
blisters.
She's like, let me just have,
she'd been
have
practicing,
a good, which I thought was a
like,
good.
That was like kind of a power move. Like I kind of loved it. It was kind
But
of
I don't
cool.
think it was a. I don't think she was consciously thinking it was a power move. I think she
it was
just
just
did
the right choice.
And it gave an indication. It gave a not, or it gave them. It made them think that she was more relaxed.
Yeah.
Or at least was just wanting to have a good time. So she's coming with, I'm an ex idol, and I've got this sob story and blah blah blah, and Cube has his problems and stuff. And then she gets up there and she's like, I'm just gonna dance. And it reminded me of, do you remember in 48 when was it Moe? It was a really funny girl, and she started dancing, and she got the award, and she just kept dancing.
Yeah.
And the one girl was crying watching herself. She's just so free. It's like it was one of those kind of fun moments. It's very cool.
That's all I have.
But I like her a lot. She's just a cute rabbit too.
There were other performances that they skipped over, and there were even more of them than what I list here. Again, there's been so many performances so far. I'm a little overwhelmed. So
there were 4 that didn't get broadcast?
There was more than this.
Oh, really?
There was even more. There's just so much. I'm getting a little overwhelmed. It's too many people. So I'm sorry if I didn't list one that you liked a lot or something. Here I put, a couple of the groups that did have members go into top 9 candidates. The group with Bora and Jung Ji-yoon, and one of the girls who did Maria from Hawaii.
But right, yeah, which they flashed on the screen. I don't blame them for cutting through a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But like this other podcast she said, I would have watched 2 hours and 40 minutes. I did before. I would have been. I would have too. But
I agree. But it's not anyone's particular fault. It's just it's a lot.
At the least, I like that they still put them online.
They put them online.
It is a website.
So if you want to see all of them, all the performances are up there. Like
you kind of take your time and watch.
And the other two that I put were that had some of our favorite people that we were going for. They kind of skipped over May's group. They did WJSN's Boogie Up. They were okay. May's a really, really good dancer. Her live vocals were a little bit weak, but that's okay. But she's a really good dancer. Yeah. She looked great.
She's gonna do something.
And the J Group Marshmallows, which had Momo in it, and
Momo did the best.
Produced 48's song. Was that one of the ones that Nako did?
Yes, that's the one Nako held the note, I think, because the other girl held the note. Remember the Nako note? She goes, they're even dressed similar, I think, to the group. That's why they're.
Momo carried her team.
She has a nice, cutesy voice. You don't expect that voice.
I think with like some practice and like honing it, she would sort of sound like Nako. She kind of has that, like maybe a little bit,
higher pitch.
which is like can be really good.
But she wasn't nasally
sound.
though. She was
But but the other two girls she was with were like not great.
It's a hard voice to have because Nako had to work really, really hard on stopping the nasally sound. It was
she didn't
hard.
stop it. She just it
became better. I mean,
but her voice sounds cool and unique, and that's why
it sticks out.
It.
For her voice to fit Nye's one was a miracle. The way you thought
it was great,
but it kicked in. Yeah, it was
like
awesome.
Perfect, like lightning in a bottle.
Yeah,
just like
that's
perfect.
What I mean.
Her voice fits the musical sound of Eyes One, which is why I love her. And like
but
anyway,
Momo is gonna have to do something to stick out. I think deep down she's just a really low down to earth kind of girl. She's a performer. She's really funny and stuff. But she's a little older now. I think she's
all these groups that got kind of edited out. I don't think there's a whole lot of hope for them because they just didn't get the screen time.
I don't know, man.
Honestly.
I don't know. Remember, we didn't. If you watched the 48, Naka wasn't even in it until the end. She just snuck up. She just slowly got up there. Granted, she had higher votes most of the time, but I think any one of them needs to think, I can't play it safe anymore. I've got to actually do something.
So after all that, they had all the top 9 candidates. There were a bunch of them. Probably they had 26 and then added more, so it was like over 30 top 9 candidates.
It was hard, yeah.
The judges whittled it down to this list.
Which I think I was surprised at some of the picks on the list.
The only surprising picks were because, again, in the moment, they don't know who's getting edited out in the end, was Ayana, who did Nonstop. She's on the far right here.
Yeah,
again, she was one of the ones they didn't
even show the song.
They didn't show the performance, but it was part of the first episode, but the judges were very impressed by her. And then, again, Ji-yoon, who did the song with Bora. That was one that was kind of skipped over.
It's a good song
and didn't get a lot of attention, but the judges were impressed. But everyone else is
Baby Monsters. I think I was surprised a bit that she.
Everyone else here, like in top 9, are people that also stood out to us, and that like other than Ayana and maybe Ji-yoon, because
I couldn't even
I didn't
name
know
Diana, honestly.
And Like, this is a good group.
Yeah,
this is a solid group. Like, mad respect. I would change out a few, like, in my personal preferences or whatever. But, like, Hikaru, absolutely. Yeso, absolutely. Shouting, absolutely. Richie, absolutely.
I was going to say, how many you got? Japan,
absolutely.
Japan, Korea, China. Who's this again? I forget. She's Korean, I believe. Mm-hmm. Korean. So there's mostly Korean, I think, but it's a good mix.
It's a good mix. Like some of those are my ride or die. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's
100%.
I think they want to give an indication what the final group will look like. They want to do this.
I think
to
that's
giving girls the other.
And like, I think it's looking great.
They need to. The other team great. People need to realize what's going on here.
Like, seeing this and like seeing them it makes me so excited. Like, for what the group could be in the end. Like, a group like this. I mean, again, I have some like personal faves that I would maybe switch out if I was in charge or whatever. But I'm so excited.
What made Eyes One so good to me was
Hikaru and So Richie in a group together.
Right. What makes
bias
me a little worried is I don't, or maybe not worried, is they did create Eyes One, and Eyes One was such a unique sound.
Stop talking about Eyes One.
I'm just saying. I'm just comparing to the same. There's the same mentality behind creating the group. And trust me, they're wanting to recreate some of the success of that group. They did very well. I don't think they're going to try anything much different. They're going to try to do a group that is not genreless by any means, but a bit more, But what's cool about this is, if you think about it, you have dancers, amazing dancers.
It's a good mix of skill,
rappers.
too.
You have 3 rappers, really good rappers.
Main vocalist material, like
a
bunch of main dancer.
So you
material,
have everything
rapper.
you need.
Like, this is.
I don't know if when they were talking about making this final, I can't remember if they said this, but they kind of worked to make the actual group. They kind of balanced it that way. I thought they said something like, we need to have some of this. I think that's something that the
judges are always going to have into consideration, which is why I like the exercise of them doing that.
Yeah.
I like the judges weighing in, because I think they're thinking of what makes a good team and what makes a well-rounded team. And pure popularity doesn't necessarily end up with a well-rounded team.
Well, no, this girl, Iana, I had no idea who that even was.
Right.
But watching her video, I think what they liked about she just looked like an idol, like just had perfect moves.
But there are so many good picking 9 out of is so going to be so hard. But anyway, that was the top 9. Such as it is at this very moment, it won't remain that way.
No, not at all.
Now is the voting part of it. They, as I mentioned, they repick their cells. We won't go through all the different cells because it's really, there's just a lot going on. But right now you can vote for your 3 top cells.
Can't believe you didn't vote for Momo.
I'm sorry.
It's the cells. Go ahead.
So you can vote. So this is the ones that we picked for our voting for now, for top cells. So Richie Hikaru,
obviously,
like BFFs forever. I need them to.
Okay, but who between So Richie and Hikaru, if you had to pick, who would you pick?
Both. They're a package deal. As far as I'm concerned, they're a package deal. They both must make it till the end. I love them both. No, and then Xiaoting and Garina and Youngun. She's one of the girls from Kick It group.
She was good. Yeah.
The 3 of them, powerhouse.
Yeah,
I love the 3
Urena
of them.
is a star.
I love them.
I'm kind of surprised Urena didn't make it in the final 9.
Right, it was very close. She's probably one of the ones, if I were to make some switches from that final 9, I would put.
What I think stopped her possibly was because she wasn't quite different enough.
I don't know. I think they just there was just a wealth of choices, so that was hard. And then Cheyenne, of course. But just because I love her, and then Rurika, who is also one of my faves.
Patootie team.
So that's my cell choice.
So the only one I had that was different was I voted Momo's cell.
And Saiyan, who's part of the Baby Monsters, I agree. I agree.
She's got a baby face. It's like a little fish.
With voting for her, I fully support.
Well, look, you've got Momo. We haven't seen enough of, so of course I want to vote for that. But I think Momo is the middle section there. Wen,
she was part of the helicopter
She
group.
was the tall one who was kind of quiet and looked like a model, she had that kind of serious face.
She did pretty well.
And this little cutie patootie here. It's just a weird mix.
Yeah,
but when in their little preview thing, and you can watch all these teams' personality, they did a little intro video thing. It was funny because Wen-Zhe did dancing, and then Kim Se-Yeon did the vocals, and then Momo goes, Kiki. I was like, what are you doing? You're so silly.
They did sell PR videos. They're on
Yeah.
YouTube afterwards because for the voting now, so you can see.
But
all
somebody
of them.
was saying, well, that
I just
means
wanted
Momo
to talk
will
about
rap.
our favorites.
And I thought that would be.
I'd
pay money to see.
I
that.
would love to see it.
I think it'll be fun to see. So.
And with relation to the voting, there's also you pick your top 9 individuals. Okay, before we go into it, this process is so confusing.
It's
but
very
anyway,
confusing.
someone on the Reddit, thank goodness, if you don't subscribe to the Girls Planet 999 subreddit, please do. That's like, you should. I think it's really helpful.
Yeah, it's been good.
It's been really good.
Like exact information for
Yeah,
stuff.
it's like a good archive of all the information.
Yeah.
So the voting strategy is as thus.
And by the way, this is not in order of number 1 through 9. This is just the 9.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
the 3 cells that you vote for, that's how the eliminations will be chosen, is because the whole cell will go. And then the individual votes is, after the cells have been eliminated, who's left. The individual votes will rank who's left.
Okay, that does make sense now. Okay.
Right? So these are my choices.
They'll give up the cell thing eventually, in other
Yeah.
words. Okay,
it'll change or whatever, because half of them are going to leave. Well, maybe they'll stay in their cell. I don't know. But anyway, so this is just me voting for my heart, not necessarily voting
logically,
rationally,
Momo will probably
knowing
not
that,
make it.
like, I'm voting for the twins, ride or die, but I'm not necessarily voting for their cells because it's like there's so many others that I wanted to vote for. So I might be throwing away my votes for them because if their cells don't make it into the end, voting for them individually.
Would you say that voting for
help.
Surichi or Hikaru would be throwing away your vote more because they're a given thing? It's that kind of a concept.
No, because that's their individual. Yeah, it's so confusing, everybody. But
who is Ye Xiao King? King, the number one you got there.
Yeah. Baby Monsters, the dancer. That was really good.
That got in the top 9?
Yeah.
Oh, that picture does not look like her. That's funny.
Yeah, some of their photos don't look. Yeah. So that's my 3. It was Yeso from Baby Monster, Chaeyoung from Baby Monster, and Youngoon from the Kick It team. The twins and So Richie, Yurina, Momo, and Hikaru from J.
Yeah, I think the only one I got did. I got.
You
I went ahead and went with Yujin just because I do want to. I don't know. There's something about it. I think she needs to be in a good group. I mean, I don't care that she's had a chance to. This is I tell people this in the comments all the time. This is a movie project. This is not. You don't need to think of it like a family. This is for these. These are all these girls are actors. They're going out for the gig, and I think Yujin could do better and better. Bora was great. I just still liked her, and I was Lee Chaeyoung is just so adorable. But I think she's really, really funny too.
I really like her a lot.
And the twins, of course, Surichi, of
twins
course.
and Surichi, or like
Hikaru, give me a break. Now this
Hikaru,
one here, this young lady in the middle bottom, Nagomi was the one who did the
G-Idol
thing, the 2 girls, and she just was really surprised. Something about her. She looks different. She looks like Regina Spektor, which is funny. But I think there's something there that is different, and I think she might sneakily stay in there. And Momo, of course, I just want to see Momo.
Yeah, my heart can't go, even though I think that the twins and Momo will be in the lower ranked cell groups. We didn't vote for their cells, so we might not be helping them actually. But this whole process is confusing. But anyway, this is just me following my heart. So share with us in the comments who you voted for and why, and what's your voting strategy. You can vote every day. It's not one vote ever. So I might hop in each day and change things up a tad. But I think my cell votes are locked. That's on lock. But anyway.
Yeah, I think so too.
And the last thing is the mission 1. Just the high level. I'll quickly go over it.
The details on all this.
There are going to be teams of 9, 3 cells each. They did a morning mission where you had to get up and go find your cellmate's baby pictures, which was a really cute, funny
I wish you would have spent more time on it.
And
I bet
Hikaru was having trouble finding Richie's.
Hikaru was, I couldn't.
Her baby. She was just running up and down the stairs. I was like, go up the stairs.
I think they weren't allowed, because then you could just point to your picture.
I don't know.
So.
But anyway, the people who got up in the morning and played the game are the ones that were the smart players. Because
they knew it was a morning mission. They had to know
the morning mission winners got to choose the 2 other cells.
That's a huge benefit. That is something that might save that first group.
So the girls who did first place in morning mission picked So Richie's team and picked Yaning's team. So they picked 2 strong other teams. So really smart. But anyway, The mission, okay. There's going to be 11 teams, is that right?
Something like that, yeah.
And then
33,
the winner of this actual mission is chosen by the masters, the judges.
Yeah.
I forget what they call them. The actual judges, not us. We're not picking the team battle winners. It's the judges, but we're going to vote for the cells.
Yeah, it's my stomach. Sorry. Yeah, this is confusing.
And the winners chosen by the judges will get double votes for the last 24 hours of the voting process. Yeah. If your team picked a boy group song, you get triple votes for the last 24 hours of the process.
That's the key, though. The last 24 hours is probably the least voting you get. It's done as soon as it's open. All the numbers put out, and the people skip it. Maybe don't. That's probably one of the lower days you get votes.
And the winning team will perform on M Countdown.
Which winning? Yeah, there's going to be how many winners? And I think you said how many people?
5.
Yeah, so performing. That's pretty cool. That's going to be cool.
5? Anyway,
sucks there's no audience right now. But anyway, you go on this part. Go watch the video, and the rules are pretty complicated.
And after this first round mission, 16 cells will be eliminated based upon our votes.
3 times 16 is what, 32, 48 people, 48 girls, right?
48 girls. Based upon our votes,
so
with the judges' choice benefit kind of affecting it a bit, but maybe not overwhelmingly so.
Yeah. So 48 girls is, I bet, what, 2 episodes away? Something like that.
And then just one last thing is that from all those 16 cells, the 48 girls, the judges can pick one from each group, 1K, 1J, 1C, to like trump the vote and save them.
So basically 45 girls will get eliminated. 3 will stay. So it's 45 girls after
So if there's someone who happened to have a lot of potential, but the judges pick.
Yeah.
So I'm totally cool with that.
They got to start getting rid of them.
We'll discuss song choices and performance and all that stuff when we actually watch the episodes over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I think the mission performances will be over the next 2 episodes, I am guessing, because it's going to be a lot. And then the 5th episode, so episode 5 would be whenever they do the ranks and they eliminate people.
Yeah. If this is going through 2 months, right? 2-3 months.
It's going until October.
Yeah, they've got to start. What I'm thinking though is if they're getting rid of half
almost half
within 2 weeks or 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
For the rest of the time, that's a lot of time for them to probably do like side goofy stuff, and I love that stuff.
You still don't understand. You're still going from 48 to 9. That's still a ton of people to go through.
No, I know, but I'm saying that gives them some more. That gives them some breathing room, and we'll start to see more of the.
We don't know
stuff.
the total number of missions the show will have, but there's still a lot to go through.
I mean, 99 was a bit ambitious in the first place, but that's a lot of people.
There's so many good candidates, though.
Yes,
this is going to hurt.
There are a lot of good candidates, but there are a lot that don't have much business being in it. They're not bad. None of them are bad, but they got on the show, and there's definitely I would say that if I had to pick right now, I could pick like 5 that I know for sure would. But the rest of them are pretty good. Like there's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's something there that there's very few that did. It was like, what are you doing here? Like you don't,
No,
they just seemed completely
was
lost.
Just the standard of skill level and charisma and talent is just so high. Like, more so even than Produce 48. Like, more so than any other show I've ever seen. Like, this is no joke.
It's a thing that happens in sports.
Good.
When the public finds out what the record is, the public can know what to break the record.
Yeah.
This last Olympics, they broke more records. They're going to continue. And, people get better and better.
So
I was shocked at how good most of them were. Especially the twins. They're probably the best things. They had the best singing voices. Easily.
I'm excited that we're going to get to see the twins and Momo do one performance.
Yeah, I wanted to see them interact.
After mission 1, I have a feeling they probably won't be around anymore.
No, I don't know about that. I think Momo will stick around.
Fun fact, the twins are doing the same song on different teams, so one of them is going to win against the other.
Yeah, but
Drama!
How sad will that be when she's got to say goodbye to her sister, maybe, or something?
I think that both of them.
See, Momo right now is number 20, I believe, or 18. She's in the middle-ish. She could survive.
That doesn't mean anything.
No, but I'm just saying.
Those
talent-wise,
individual rankings mean nothing at this point.
I know, but I'm just saying talent-wise, I think she could she could
Overwritten now
hold
by
on to the
votes.
surviving the first cuts.
I don't.
The
I don't
twins
think
are
so.
obviously at number 3
I'm
or
gonna
4, obviously.
I'm gonna set my expectations low and be happily surprised. Is
Yeah.
how I feel about it.
Yeah, I agree.
But I still love them with all my heart and
But
will follow
already-
everything they do in GNZ 48.
Just a couple side notes. I do agree that sometimes it's kind of weird that, and this, I think it kind of bit them in the butt where they picked the number 9 young lady who was in the group that they didn't even I didn't even know existed.
Right,
They didn't
right.
even show on the show until
Right.
we watched the video on YouTube. Granted, they showed it for a split second. So they don't. The non-screen time is not necessarily, I believe, is driven by
Well,
how entertaining it might be.
In the moment, the judges don't know who's going to get screen
Right,
time.
they're
They're
kinda like-
they're being honest to what the performance they saw, and then for whatever reason afterwards things are edited the way they are. But
Right,
I'm not.
I don't
I'm not
think.
worried
In other
about
words,
it.
I don't think Mnet is sitting there, especially after what happened with 48. They're not sitting there going, "Ha ha ha! We know already who the group is." They're saying
I
this
don't
girl
think
is
so.
entertaining to put
But
on
they're
the screen.
definitely giving people more
I
screen
mean, they show the
time,
twins.
certain
They show the
ones.
twins say a few
The
things.
twins got
because they're
some of the
entertaining.
most individual team screen time of everyone. Just so
Because they're fun to
FYI,
watch.
they showed backstory. They introduced themselves. They had like a pre-recorded
Because they're
segment.
pure
that
entertainment.
went, like they really did.
That and the
I'm
twins.
thankful for that. I'm thankful for
Yeah,
that.
so I'm
Even
saying-
if in the end they don't make it.
Right, and the girls can't fake it, but I think that everyone involved does have to step it up a bit and stand out a bit. It's very hard, but you can
Okay.
see some of them who are just not, who are just kind of, they're giving into their nerves a bit. It looks like, and it's like, no, step
It's
it
a
up. You're-
scary
Yeah,
process.
right, and it's moving fast, even though it seems slow. It's moving
But-
fast.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think
good-
that's
good
everything for
episode.
this week.
This was the Empire Strikes Back of the series, the middle, the second movie of the trilogy.
Yeah.
Something else is coming.
Yeah.
Something already happened, so we're waiting.
We
for
have
the-
2 more weeks of fun performances to watch before we get our hearts ripped out of our chest.
No, we
So
also
I'm
get the
just
drama
gonna-
of watching.
So
them
I'm just gonna enjoy the next 2 weeks. We get to see everyone's teamwork and all that good stuff, and all these
and
wonderful
arguing
songs.
and drama.
All the songs that they are getting to perform are great. They're really
that'd be
cool.
good. Yeah.
One of the groups is performing the Eve from EXO. Greatest song of all time.
that's
Oh
good.
my
Yeah, but
god!
they're gonna be.
It's
that's-
gonna be so
They're
good.
gonna be judged hard though, because that's a good.
But I
team.
don't care. It's gonna be
And
so
then it
good.
looks like there's drama in that team. Drama.
Drama.
fun.
But
Yes,
yeah.
the next episode will be really good.
Okay, we'll see you next week, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Have a good week, everybody. See you
Have
next week.
a good week.
Go vote.
Make sure to vote every day.
Yeah.
And
do your,
let us know in the comments who you voted for.
do
Okay.
your civic duty.
Okay, bye.
Have a good one.